Hi guys, welcome back to Four Towers Films, episode 3 of A Writer's Life, How to Write a Book, part 2. This one I'm going to break down what I initially started in the first episode about writing a book and the steps that it'll take to get you there. This one is kind of an important one. The first one is pick your genre and a big idea that will last the length of the book. Now, pick a genre. You already know there's a lot of genres out there. There's Western, there's horror, there's romance, there's historical, fiction, nonfiction. Right now, let's say focus on fiction. You decide to write a fiction book. Well, now you have to pick your genre. How you do that is, what do you actually like to read? Go to your bookshelf. What do you see a lot of? Do you see a lot of horror? Do you see a lot of literary fiction? Do you see romance? Or, even comedic type books? Well, from there, you'll know what kind of stories you like to read. And that's really your first step in how to write a book is, what do you like to read? A lot of first-time authors, book writers think that they have to go by what's popular right now. So if you look at what's best-selling, even a few years ago, it was, say, the supernatural type series or genre. So you had like Twilight, or you had dystopian like in Hunger Games or whatnot as the big sellers. Now, of course, there were big sellers in other genres as well, but those are the ones you heard about that made into movies and things. So a lot of writers think that you have to start out on what's popular now, or else nobody's going to want to read it. Well, the problem with that is, what if you don't particularly like that kind of genre? What if you don't like dystopian? You haven't read one, you're not interested in it. And so if you try to write a book like that, it's going to show in your writing. It'll show that you're not interested, that you're bored, that you get stuck really easily, and you probably won't finish the book at all. So it's actually better to pick a genre you're interested in. So if you like romance, romance is a huge seller right now. If you ever plan to actually publish the book, that's actually very, very popular genre, especially if there's subsets in there, subgenres in the romance category that are very popular right now. And we could talk about that later, even if you want to get into publishing and just the lucrative parts of it and make money from it. There are specific subgenres that are going to make you more money than maybe even the more generalized parts of that genre are. But to start off with, pick something that you yourself are interested in. So say it's horror. Well, if you like to read it, you're going to like to write it. The point is to write something that you know you will continue and be excited about writing. And that will show in your book, in your story, as you go along, that you yourself are invested in the story. Okay, now that you've picked your genre, now you have to think of a story idea. You probably have, like most writers, tons of ideas roaming around in your head. Well, that's great. Get them down on paper. If you have a notepad, carry it with you, a computer, tablet, even your cell phone. I've put things on my cell phone before where I've got ideas or even a short story. I'll write it down, or I'll put it like the sticky tapes on my computer, the program, all that sort of thing. So once you have an idea, write them all down. Not to say that every single idea you have is going to be a good one for the length of a story, but it will be a great start and give you an idea when you're brainstorming. Like, you know how they taught you in school how to brainstorm? It's kind of the same idea. Now take a look at those ideas that you came up with and see if you can think in your head how to lengthen that story out. So it could be, say, it was if it's a Western, it was maybe a cowboy who left town and came back to town. Well, it might be focused on that, or it's set in a small town, or it's set in the big city, somebody coming to the big city, or something along those lines. when you have a big idea, start to build an idea around that. That's your story. You have to build out from that main idea. Not all ideas are going to be able to stretch into a book. They can make great short stories, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 words. They might make a great novella, or you can actually extrapolate and make them longer, expand them out into a 50,000 word minimum book. You'll be able to tell that by taking a couple of days to go over each of your ideas and think, okay, how can I make this? This is even before you really start developing characters or even plot lines. That's the next kind of step that you're going to take after that. But it's really about your main idea and how you can expand on that and how far you can expand on that. Can you really build a world around that? And that's really what you want to do with a book, is build a whole world, either a believable world. Even if it's sci-fi or fantasy, you're going to want to build a story or a world that's believable to your readers, that they can actually either see themselves in that story, or they can really see your characters interacting in that story, and that it's a believable setting. How you can do that and what helps some people, now you have your own techniques of what will work for you, is maybe take, say, your idea. You're going to base it in a small town. Well, start to kind of build out from that small town. Is there something special about it? Start imagining what it looks like. Are there flower shops? Are there gift shops? What kind of schools are there? What kind of jobs? Is there industry? Is there factories? That sort of thing. Start imagining and build your town and make it bigger, and thinking of the people you're going to put in the town. These are not your main characters. These are just people that live there that your main characters might interact with every day. So you'll have them, who's the flower shop owner? Who's the school bus driver? Who's the sheriff? That sort of thing. So from there, you start building outwards and expanding on what that main idea is. Then you're going to think of, if it's a person you want your story to start with or to center around, start thinking of them. Now, have they come back to that town? Were they raised there? What are their hopes? What are their thoughts? What are their dreams? What are they going to do? Why are they there? What's their main point of the story in relation to your idea? You're starting to actually build your character that way, but you may not have given them a name yet, or maybe you have, or even at this point, start thinking of what they look like. You don't have to write it all down, because it might change when you actually start to write your book, but start to think of what are their motivations, of why are they doing what they're doing. Are you centering it on, say, a killer? Are you centering on a sheriff or a school teacher? Start thinking, what would that person's life be like in relation to your idea, so that you see how that works. It starts to incorporate your idea to make it larger. What I find helpful when I'm doing that is to take a notebook or open up a separate page in my writing program, is to make notes on main characters, even before I give them names. And I'll say what their eye color is, what their height is, what I imagine what they look like, what car they drive, what kind of home they live in, why they're there, and everything I think of regarding that, I write down and make notes to it so that I can incorporate that back into the story as I go along. Once you have an idea of if at least one of your story ideas will expand into book length, you can eliminate the other ones or earmark them for a short story or even a subplot within the main book, which could be possible too. It actually can make for a more well-rounded book when you have subplots of different characters going on at the same time. Just don't make it too confusing, because we could talk about that another date. Well, that is how you start. The first steps that you will take when you're first starting out writing a book is pick your genre, and one that you will love, that you love to read, you will most likely like to write, and are more likely to finish it. And pick an idea that you know you can expand on. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you'll be back next week, and I hope you like this video. Comment below if you have any questions, or if you'd like to add, if you're a writer and you have your own ideas or your own techniques on how to start with picking a genre and thinking of a good idea. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe. Love having all of my subscribers. And don't forget to hit that bell for the notification of when I upload the next videos. I upload 3 times a week. Monday is A Writer's Life, when I talk all things writer. That's book writing all the way to freelancing. Don't worry, we'll get to you freelancers coming up soon. Have a great day. Oh, Wednesdays, I write about, it's my matter of opinion piece, where I write about anything that I think about. It could be tools, where I can review tools for writers, or food, or just opinion on what's going on in the world. And Fridays is Live Stream Friday with Doug218, where you can talk to me and Doug live, and we can answer questions if you have any. So hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.